Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I've been asked a lot recently about my current makeup and how I'm doing it, so I thought I would do it in a video just for you. So if you would like to see some more, then keep watching. So first things first before we crack on, firstly, it's very likely that you could hear the wind because I've got the door open because it's a little bit hot in here, or my washing machine because sometimes it gets a bit angry, and that's on a load with loads of towels in, or the dog. And then next thing is, I don't want anyone to watch this video and think that they should wear makeup like this every day. I might wear like more makeup than you, I might wear less makeup than you, that's probably unlikely though. I love makeup, I've loved it since I was about 14 years old and it's a bit of a hobby of mine. I get asked a lot about how I do my makeup, what products I use, this, that and the other, especially over on Instagram, so I thought I would share it with you today. I'm not an expert by any means and I have done videos like this in the past, so if you want to see different looks that I've done over the years, then I'll leave the playlist down below for those, but I'm just going to do the typical makeup look that I have been doing a lot recently, that I get asked about a lot. So first things first, I have already moisturised. My moisturiser is upstairs, it's the CeraVe moisturising lotion. I have also worked out not that long ago, so if I look a bit, I don't look too bad actually. No, I looked awful before, I looked like a beetroot, but we've calmed down now. So yeah, moisturiser's on, and also I don't have any kids with me today because it's a work day, so I've been working all day and then like cleaning this afternoon because I managed to hit all of the deadlines and things that I needed to do, so I went on to something else instead because I'm one of those people that can't sit still. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with my primer, and there are two items in this that are part of previous brand collaborations. Both of these pieces of work were Instagram stories, so I can't link them so you can see, but basically I will just run through it now. So the first thing is this primer. I don't typically wear a primer normally. If you run through any of my old videos, you will probably see that I go straight in after moisturiser with foundation, but this came in my glossy box when I worked with them. It's the Figs and Rouge blurring primer and finishing fix satin soft, and it's the ultra prime, and you know, I had it, I thought I would at least use it, it would be silly not to, and I actually really like it. I find some primers, like the Benefit Professional had its day, didn't it? One second, I need to put my little trusty clips in because otherwise I'm going to get all in my hair. Let's just do this. These are from Amazon, by the way. They come in like big packs and they're quite handy for makeup. So if I look a bit silly now, sorry about that, but yeah, this is lovely. Like I was saying, Benefit Professional was huge, and I remember buying it, but it just didn't sit well on my skin at all. If anything, I think it broke me out, and rather than blurring my pores, I feel like it blocked them. But then other products, like, you know, from Benefit, I absolutely love, just depends on you and your skin. So I put that on, and it's not, it does feel nice and soft on the skin. I wouldn't say it's like super tacky or sticky or anything like that, but I just do find in the warmer months when you get a bit sweaty, it's doing quite a good job. And then the next thing that I'm going in with this, and then the next thing that I'm going in with is this. It's the Iconic London Prep Set and Glow. I have the Glow one here. There's also an original one which is more of a champagne shade. But I've been loving this one at the moment because when I have got a bit of a tan, it's actually making me look lighter than I am at the moment. This camera, it does silly things sometimes. But this kind of just adds to that glow. So once I've done my primer, I will shake it, because you have to shake it to mix it all together, and then I'll give this a spritz on my face. So obviously I worked with them on Instagram recently as well, and I love this. Like, considering I've not had it that long, I've already used like this much, and I think it's brilliant. Like, and you just kind of, you know, when you try a product for the first time and you're like, oh my gosh, this is love, I love it, and it kind of refreshes your face, like sets everything a little bit, like helps my primer not feel too tacky, and then I feel like I can go in with my foundation. I get asked about my foundation a lot. So this is what I'm using. It's not a cheap and cheerful one, apologies for that, but it is honestly probably my go-to now, and it's the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. I'm pretty certain this is what I'm going to be wearing on my wedding day as well. I have the shade Fanta Fe. I would say it's probably slightly light for me at the moment because, like I said, I have got a bit of a tan, but it's just beautiful. I've got like a little pump on my brush, and I'm just going to use this very naff mirror here, but this is how I get ready every day, because I get ready in the kitchen because then I'm just surrounded by the kids and I don't have to like run up and down the stairs if I'm doing it in my bedroom like I used to, and I can keep an eye on them, so it suits me just fine. And what I'm going to do using this brush, this is the Morphe M6, it's like a stippling foundation brush. I'm just going to kind of push that into the skin and blend it in. So notice that I'm kind of gently pushing rather than like smearing it, because I don't want to like just spread it everywhere and then smear it into the brush. I'm kind of trying to work it into the skin and into my primer and the Prep Set and Glow. So I'm doing that, and it's just one pump for now, and I will spread that very evenly over my face. Now I'm lucky at the moment when I'm filming this, I don't have like a massive breakout. I've just finished my period, and that is normally when I get breakouts, but since switching up my skincare last year, I hardly get any spots compared to what I used to, and I used to get some really bad spots. I'm just gonna have my Greg's flat white that Mark got me from his lunch break. One sec. So what I will say is that this isn't, I wouldn't say it's full coverage. Despite the name Sheer Glow, I would say it's like a medium kind of buildable coverage. You can add a little bit more in, but I'm only putting it on the areas that I feel that my skin really needs it. As I'm getting older, I find that if I just put too much on, I can see it in my skin. I'm not as oily as I used to be, and sometimes I think when you've got oily skin, it kind of helps things blend quite nicely, but when your skin gets drier as you get a bit older, you realise that actually it kind of just looks a bit cakey. So that is that, and you'll notice that I hardly put any on my forehead because I don't really have any spots there. I have like a strawberry birthmark here and here, but other than that, I'm not too bad. And I'm filming this without my ring light on, by the way, so you can hopefully see my skin just as it is, because sometimes the ring light can kind of like make things look a bit different, not like better, but just, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I just want this to look realistic, basically. So next up, I'm going in with these. I got these for my birthday, so they've lasted a really long time, and they are Fenty Beauty matchsticks, and I kind of use these as like my concealer and my contour. You'll see I've got two different shades, so the concealer is Bamboo and the contour is Mocha, and then I use a different concealer on my under eyes because, as I said, I am getting a bit older and I've noticed that they need like a lighter, more liquidy product, personally speaking. So what I do with this is like a roll-up one, and I will just add that in anywhere where I think just needs a tiny bit of extra coverage, and it's normally like around my nose. Do you get that weird redness bit here? So annoying, isn't it? I get that, and then also around my chin. And then if I did have any blemishes, for example, then I would put it on there. I do have a tiny little bit of hyperpigmentation from previous spots. I really like suffer with that, it's really annoying. And then I'll just put a tiny extra bit on my strawberry birthmark, which I'm not really that fussed about, but it just makes it look a bit more even. And then again, I will just blend that in using this brush because it does work quite nicely. I get asked a lot whether or not like I can do this quickly, and because it is my routine and because I've been like fiddling around with makeup all my life, it probably takes me like about 15 minutes. If I've got to do my hair, obviously that'll be different, but a lot of the time what I will do is wash my hair at night, leave it to air dry, and then I'll curl it in the morning, or if I'm washing it in the day, I would just like blow dry it quickly. I don't have straighteners or anything because I've got boring hair that just sort of is like that. So that's that concealer done, and now I'm going to use this on my under eyes, which is the Maybelline eraser. I think we've all seen it. It's a bit knackered looking, but it is really good. And what's nice about it is because it's very light, it's quite easy to sort of pat in with your ring fingers, and I don't find it creases too badly, which is really nice, and it still gives me some coverage. I do have genetically dark circles under my eyes. I've always sorry about the frog in my throat, it's hay fever for you. I've always kind of had that, and having kids doesn't really help. So I'm going to dab that under my eyes, and then I'm going to blend it out. I don't use any tricky techniques with like a bit here and a bit there, because I have dark circles bloody everywhere, so I need the concealer there. And then I'm just going to blend it in with my ring fingers, just because then I'm not applying too much pressure under my eyes, and I'm patting this into my skin. I'll bring a little bit up over onto my eyelids, which kind of acts as a primer, and then just do that until it's all nicely blended and I look less like a panda, which is good. So already I look a lot more awake, don't I? I sometimes will just do this with like, I'll set it a little bit with some powder and then just put some blusher on and a bit of like highlighter and a bit of mascara if I'm in a rush. But then like a lot of days when I'm not feeling makeup, I just don't wear it. So next up we're going in with the contour, which is in the shade Mocha, as I said before. And then I am just going to make myself look a little bit silly temporarily. Now this is a cream one, which again, when I was younger, I don't feel like I would have been able to get away with having like oilier skin, but now my skin has changed slightly. I can use it just fine, and as you'll see, I'm making an absolute mockery out of myself. I'm just adding it to the places where I would naturally either catch the sun or have like a natural shadow, and I'm trying to enhance it. It looks quite intense now, but I promise you it will not look so bad in a minute. It just starts me looking like, you know, a potato or the moon or a golf ball or something along those lines. So I'm just using this brush here. It's a Real Techniques one, and I am just going to kind of again blend it into the skin, but with like little tiny circular motions, so it blends nice and evenly. You'll notice that I don't put tons on my jaw, because obviously then you can get like a kind of tide line effect, but it's just to sort of enhance this area. I'm really self-conscious about my jaw, because what I was born with, when I was born, my jaw was basically non-existent and it's still quite small, so I try and enhance it, because you know when people always do that, like there's a meme in there where people like say, oh, when you open your phone camera and you're looking at it and it's all the chin. I don't have all the chins. I literally look like a worm. Like my neck and my chin just merge into one. So yeah, I will always try and enhance that a little bit, just because I'm self-conscious, and it's okay if you're self-conscious. I'm trying to convince myself there, but no, seriously, like, you know, if you've got insecurities and you can do something to make yourself feel better, then do it. Like, I'm trying to age gracefully and all that, but still want to contour myself a chin, do you know what I mean? So that's where we're at the moment, and I'm just going to do my forehead. What I love about contour is it just adds a bit of definition back into my face, because obviously when you are trying to conceal certain imperfections and things like that, it kind of just gives yourself a completely blank slate, and you don't always necessarily look as human then, do you? So now I'm going in with this, which if you've seen any previous makeup videos where I've been using this, it's still the same tub. This is the Laura Mercier translucently setting powder in translucent glow. So it has a slight glow to it, and I haven't got very much left, but it basically looks like this, and I just tap a little bit into the lid and get a big fluffy brush, which I can't tell you where that's from, but it's quite old now, and I just dust it in. And what I will do first is squish my brush and then just use part of it to set under my eyes, because that is probably the area that will crease the most, and then I will concentrate it on any areas where I am more likely to get oily. So that is that, and that is kind of like my base done, and then we will go on to blush. So this is absolutely knackered. It's the Revolution blush palette in Sugar and Spice. I dropped it on the floor, lost the lid, and cracked one of them that I didn't like very much, but then used up this top one here. But the one that I'm liking a lot at the moment is this. Another blush that I rate quite highly is this one at the moment from Rimmel, and it's the Rimmel Maxi Blush in Third Base. Don't actually know what Third Base is anymore, you know. Not down with the kids. So what I'm going to do, get a big fluffy blusher brush. This is a Real Techniques one again. I really recommend their sets because they're very affordable and good quality. And then what I'm going to do is just put it on the apples of my cheeks and up slightly. Kind of gives yourself like a flush, but when you follow, you know, that section here, it kind of lifts your face slightly as well. And then something I've always done is add a little bit onto my nose and up here, because I naturally have like a flush on my nose, like, you know, when you get like a little pink nose type thing. And again, it's just adding back in those natural details to your face that you might have taken away with your base. So now on to my eyes. That's what I do next. I have a certain order. We all have a different order, don't we? But this is mine. So I have two palettes here. One I got for, was it Christmas, and one that's quite old. Oh, car horn there. So we have the Naked Reloaded palette here, and one look I've been doing at the moment is using this shade here, which is like a kind of tan brown shade, in my crease, and then literally using my finger to add some of the gold shade here onto my lid, and I just make sure they're all blended nicely, bit of eyeliner and then mascara, and then we are done. And then this is the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye Palette in Pillow Talk, which I got for Christmas off Nikki and my brother. It's beautiful, and as you can tell, I'm very fond of these two shades. So what I would normally do is use this one in my crease. I will use this on the outer part of my lid, and then I will use this shade, which is nearly gone, on the inner part here. And I love both. So this is more of like a rose goldy look, and then this is a much quicker one that is more golden. So I think I'm going to do the quick one today because it's what I've been wearing recently, and it's a little bit more summer glowy, if you know what I mean. So let's start, shall we? Where shall we begin? What I'm going to do first, just using my finger actually, because this is exactly what I've been doing. I'm going to get this gold shade here, rub my finger in, get enough on my finger, and then I'm going to add it to my lid all the way across, just a wash of colour. And this is really nice and quick, and you can probably recreate this at home. You could use the tan shade, you could use your bronzer, and I feel like most of us have got a golden shade knocking around somewhere because it's very versatile and looks good on pretty much everybody's skin tone. So I've done that. And then what I'm going to do is get a nice long fluffy brush, like this one's quite old, and I'm going to use this tan shade, and I'm going to put it into my crease. So you have to excuse me doing this now, but this just warms everything up a little bit, because that gold is quite a icy gold. I would actually like a kind of warmer one really, but I got rid of a lot of my makeup stash when we had everything done to the house, because some of it was really old and I just wasn't using it anymore, and I'm trying to use up what I've got for now. So I've just come up close so you can see, but it's really, really quick and easy. It probably took me about 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. Maybe 30 seconds an eye. Now you could smoke this up by getting like a smaller brush, probably one like this, and adding like a dark colour in the outer V here, and you could add a little bit underneath your like lash line if you wanted to give that smoky look. But however, I'm just doing the school run and swimming lessons, and I don't really need to go smoky, so I'm just going to go straight onto eyeliner next, which is my holy grail. This is the Stickler Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, and I absolutely love this thing, and I just repurchase it constantly because I don't think any others quite rival it. So all I do, I have quite round eyes, so I do the naughty stretch that sometimes you recommended not to do because it could stretch the skin on your eyelid. But to be honest with you, I only live once, and eyelid skin is the least of my concerns, to be honest. Like, we'll be fine. And so I will start on the inner part of the eye and drag it outwards like this, because I feel like it follows my hand quite nicely, and I feel it's a bit steadier for me. And I will normally do it quite thin on the inner part, and then just do a tiny wing, nothing huge. Like obviously if I was going out, I would probably make it more defined and make it bigger. But even then, we're not talking Amy Winehouse standards, God rest her soul, because I just can't work that look like she could. So that is that. And it just adds a bit more definition to my eyes, and I just really like eyeliner on me, so I always tend to use it. Then, mascara. This is amazing. I have 2 of them, because one of them is drying out. Here we go. But this is how much I love it. It's the Maybelline Still Sensational Sky High Mascara in Very Black, and it's just absolutely fab. I need to work out which one's the dried out one and which one's the newer one. I think this might be the newer one. And all I'm going to do now is add a coat of this, maybe a couple of coats on both eyes, and then I will go into my eyebrows and my highlighter and my lips, and then we will be done. And I'll also brush my hair because I'm aware that I look like Boris Johnson. Right, so this is it, and I've shared this technique before, but I tend to kind of just wiggle it and blink. That was attractive, and it just gets it on really effectively. I always make sure that you check those little lashes on the outer corner, because you miss those sometimes and they actually frame your eye quite nicely. So there we go. So just so you can see the difference, this is with and this is without. So I think it's fantastic mascara, really, really good. I also use this on my bottom lashes as well, but I tend to do that last after I've done the top ones on both sides for some reason. Aren't we funny with our little quirks, hey? Now my eyes are done, you'll probably be thinking that it looks a little bit imbalanced, I think, because my lips aren't done and my eyebrows aren't done. So I'm going to do eyebrows next. I'm using the NYX Tame and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade, or pomade in Brunette. I love this. It's a very, very good dupe for Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, because that is extortionate really, and this is a lot cheaper, so I can really recommend this. So I'm just going to take my eyebrow brush here, so it's got a spoolie on one end and a tip at the other, and I'm going to take some of the product, just dip a little bit in and wipe it off at the side so it's not too thick, because you want your brush to be nice and thin so you can really like work those angles. And then I'm just going to add little strokes of it to my brow, so try to come a bit closer so you can see what I mean. So I'll do one and then I will show you the difference. And I don't think this is too heavy or intense. It's just kind of natural. I'm not really into brow looks anymore. Like, I've never tried the feathered trend or lamination or anything like that. I'm quite happy to just fill them in quickly, and it doesn't take me very long, as long as I like stay on top of my brows and pluck them now and again. Probably pluck my brows every week or so, and it's quite quick and it just looks natural again, which is what I like. So can you see the difference? This side is done, this side isn't, and I just feel like I look like a different person, to be honest. Now finally on to my last few products. So I have my NYX lip liner in the shade Ever, which I use all the time. I'm just going to slightly, like quite gently, line my lips. Nothing overlined or crazy, just kind of just to define them a bit more, because I feel like my lips are quite pale. And then I'm going to add some NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Stockholm. Zurich and Stockholm are my favourite. That's more like a peachy one. Zurich is slightly pinker. And then I'm going in with this L'Oreal lip gloss, which is a new one. It's like a max plumping one. I can't remember the name off by heart, so I will leave it linked down below. But it just kind of gives your lips a bit of a glow. And that is that. And then finally, this is an independent business's highlighter, which I'm going to use today just because I've got a gold theme going on. But it's the Cocoa by Chloe highlighter, and it's this gorgeous gold shade. Just taking a little highlighter brush and dotting it on my cheekbones, the top here, a little bit on my nose, and then I get a tiny bit and dab it in my inner corners. And then finally, just to set it, I add a little bit of the Prep Set and Glow again. So one sec. And then that is my finished makeup. So I am going to go and do the school run, but I hope that you really enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. If you would like to see more videos like this one, maybe it's like different kinds of looks or what I would do on a night out if I actually go on one soon, then let me know and I'd be happy to do them. But other than that, that was it. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you're up to, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!